Wait, how is someone earning 12 lakh paying zero tax in 2026? That doesn't sound right, right? Most people think higher salary means higher tax, but the new system doesn't work like that anymore. Here's how the 2026 brackets work. Up to 4 lakh, 0, then 5, 10, 15, rising in layers. And here's the part most people completely miss. After standard deduction and rebate, around 12 lakh can still be zero tax. Yeah, nobody really talks about this properly. But before you get too excited, this only works if you choose the right tax regime. Let me break it down. What changed, who benefits, and what you should do. Every year, we hear new tax rules, new budget, and most of us just ignore it, right? We think, same salary, same deductions, nothing really changes. But 2026? This one's different. So the government has made some key changes, especially around income tax slabs, deductions, and how your investments are treated. And no, this isn't just for finance experts. If you earn, save, or invest money, this affects you. First big update. The tax structure itself is shifting more towards the new tax regime, which basically means lower tax rates, but fewer deductions. So earlier, you could save tax using things like insurance, ELSS, home loan interest. Now, many of those benefits are either reduced or just not relevant anymore. Think of it like this. Earlier, you had a big menu, lots of options to reduce your tax. Now, it's more like a fixed combo meal. Simple, but not always the best deal for everyone. Second, standard deduction and basic exemptions have been adjusted. Sounds boring, I know, but this directly impacts how much of your salary is actually taxed. Even a small tweak here can mean thousands of rupees more, or less, in your pocket. Now here's where it gets interesting. If you're a salaried employee, you might benefit from simpler filing, but lose some tax-saving options. If you're a freelancer or business owner, you'll need to plan smarter, because fewer deductions means higher taxable income. And investors, yeah, you guys really need to pay attention this year. There are also changes in how certain investments are taxed, especially debt funds, long-term holdings, and capital gains. So if you've been investing thinking long-term means lower tax, that assumption might not always hold true anymore. The biggest mistake people will make in 2026? Doing nothing. Just sticking to last year's plan, not reviewing their salary structure, not checking which regime actually saves them money. So here's what I'd suggest. Nothing complicated. First, compare old versus new tax regime. Don't assume. Second, review your investments. Are they still tax efficient? And third, plan early. Not in March. Right now. Look, taxes aren't exciting. I get it. But this is literally your hard-earned money. Understanding these changes? That's the difference between being smart with money and just letting it slip away. 2026 updates include revised slabs, standard deduction, and rebate rules under the new tax regime. Around 12 lakh annual income may result in zero tax after standard deduction and applicable rebate under current slabs.